All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening and a warm welcome to all at MESC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin, and today I have with me Abhijit Bhai. And after an excellent debut on the previous stream, we have Kshitij Bhai with us. Gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Uh, so before we get into the stream, everyone knows this is a big game. This is not just a normal rivalry that you see. This is the rivalry between two of England's biggest cities, two of England's most successful clubs, and two of England's leading lights. Both of them have had prolonged spells of dominance, but both have never dominated and rubbed shoulders against each other. It has always been the case of one dominating while the other is down, and vice versa. While United have more titles in England, Liverpool are the continental powerhouses. United are currently a team on the up, whereas Liverpool are a team that is slowly seem to have lost its aura, seems to have lost its charm. But make no mistake, whenever this fixture is marked on the calendar, eyebrows are raised, interest is generated, and the world holds its breath while they watch these two giants pit their wits against each other. There is everything to play for, right from bragging rights to lauding to making sure which is the better team in the country. Subplots are endless, the bragging rights are endless, and this game keeps on giving iconic games after iconic games. Abhijit Bhai, entering this fixture, what are your thoughts? I mean, definitely it's a big game. Obviously, any game against Liverpool, irrespective of the competition, is a massive, massive. So, what are your thoughts on the game?
I think I'm a little bit nervous, but on the same side, I'm also confident that we are on a good run and we can win this derby, this Northwest derby. Uh, Liverpool too are also in a good form, and they are doing a very good, actually, you know, trying to back their self, and they are sensing that they have some outside chance, just like what we have outside chance to win the Premier League. They too have the chance of coming back into the top four. So I love I was looking for all the Manchester United fans channels and even all the Liverpool fan channels. I love the banters. They were trying to covering up that they are not on the lower of the confidence, but looking at that. Looking at their banters, everything, they it seems like they have some kind of fear of Manchester United. They say that Manchester United is on a dream run, it will fall apart. I don't see that, because they have jealousy over that. They The way Eric Ten Hag is carried out, in 6 and 7 months, United, and we are in the top three, actually. And I love the banter. We uh, we always used to see that in the last two few years, couple of years, that we were already, we always sympathized on what Manchester United was. But now we see some kind of banters from the Liverpool fans, everything we all see in the Twitter and everything. So it's it really ignites you that yes, we are actually uh, on the right track. And it also shows you that we are on the right path, and the demotivating the rivals like we, and making those the silly comments about Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag, that we will fall about, and all that banters by Jurgen Klopp. It really amazes me. And I think it will be a very fiercely match, and I think we will go and win the match.
Yeah, I mean, I share the same emotion as you. I'm cautiously optimistic about this game. Because if past experience are to be go by, we have entered. There have been many instances in the Premier League that we have entered Anfield on a massive run of form. We've been firing on all cylinders, and then all of a sudden there is something that which somehow manages to enable us to perform below our best at Anfield most of the times. So I hope this is not the case this time around. That is the reason why I am cautiously optimistic about the game. Kshitij let's take last year and this year into comparison for both the sides now. Last year, United finished 34 points adrift of Liverpool, and it was not a gap; it was a massive chasm between the two sides, just on the way that they were playing. While Liverpool seemed like a well-oiled machine, every time playing like the sum of their parts. United felt like a house of cards, which could fall at just one puff of wind. Even the slightest hint of breeze, and United would just crumble like an overbaked cookie or something like that. And then you look at this season, and it seems like there is a reversal of roles, where it is United looking like a much better and cohesive unit, and Liverpool seem to have forgotten what makes them tick in the first place. They have issues everywhere. But then again, speaking of such games, speaking of Liverpool versus United in general, we always know that form tends to go out of the window when such big games are concerned. So, what are your thoughts considering this entire shift in dynamic? Because you did not expect United to be so ahead of schedule, in spite of the fact that Ten Hag is a brilliant manager. Uh, the sheer pace of development that has gone around Old Trafford, that has gone around the players, is just a testament to how good things have been. But then it also comes with a warning that uh, these times are not long lasting, as you can see Liverpool's case. Last year they were the one fighting on all four competitions. This time we are the one who are still fighting on all four. We have also won one of them. So what are your thoughts on this? The role reversal and how exactly the parallels are of United of this season and Liverpool of last season.
See, simply put, I will define in a very simple sentence. You push a engine too much, it will break down, no matter how costly the bike or the car is. And that's what happened with Liverpool. They pushed every single player so hard. Everyone was performing at 110 capacity in that team. Klopp, genius manager, make average or above average player world class. That is his trait. And same we are seeing with ETH. ETH is also giving average or above average player to perform way above their capacity. So when and coming to the second part of the question, when you said ki, how did we shift so quickly? It's all about the cohesion. The player has to believe in their manager, the player has to believe in their team, the player has to play for the badge. It's non-negotiable, and that's what we are showing right now. And the point you said that we have catched up to Liverpool so quickly, I think we have not. I think we have not catched up to them yet, even though the points will tell you otherwise. But we need a proper squad. I think we need four or five more players to properly say that, yeah, we have matched Liverpool and we have matched City, or like right now, you can say we have matched Arsenal. So as far as I think, this match will show how much parity is still there, and if we win, we win. It's Anfield. I'm always nervous about Anfield. It's the worst day of the year for me, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. We have Paritosh Bhai with us on the stream. Paritosh Bhai, warm welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. Uh, Paritosh Bhai, let me take you back to August, where we've lost our first two games. We've conceded 6 goals, and the only goal that was there in our favor was also an own goal, which means up until that point we hadn't scored any goal uh, with our effort. And when we were having Liverpool at Old Trafford, it we all dropped our shoulders, saying that yeah, it's going to be 3 losses in 3 games. We're not going to have at least just save face. That was our general consensus at that point. But what transpired in that game was the start of our resurgence, was the start of our renaissance. And now we come to the house of the very same team which kick-started our revolution for this season. Do you think that irrespective of the result that takes place today, whatever the result, do you think that our project under Ten Hag has come full circle? Or do you think that there is still some way to go as far as Ten Hag's project is concerned or Ten Hag's implementation of his philosophy is concerned?
A very warm welcome to everybody who has joined us, even the chat, because people are commenting. We'll take them. And I just want to say that when we talk about Eric Ten Hag or managers in general, there is a certain time that they are given, and we also gave ETH time. It's just that he has outperformed himself in the time frame that was given. We were not expecting to be in a title race or anywhere near the top 1-2 positions coming into the March or April of the season. When if I ask anybody who follows the Premier League or who has been a football fan, if you told them that Manchester United would be so close to the top coming into March, everybody would have laughed at the opinion. And Kushagra says a win today will be massive as we haven't won at Anfield since long. I know it is going to be massive. What I believe is that even if we lose, because Liverpool and Anfield are notorious for their results against United, even when we were under Sir Alex, Anfield was the toughest position we were put in against Liverpool out of every fixture. So this fixture has a lot of history. Right now, it has a lot of drama attached to it, especially with the comments of Jurgen Klopp about United that the team is not built for 20 years. I mean, a manager like him, how can you say that? No team is built for 20 years. You
We'll
are
we'll
just
get we will get to that part in detail. That's an entirely different segment. I would definitely want to. I'll definitely shed
uh,
light on that. Yeah.
you asked me about ETH's reign coming full circle. We defeated them at Old Trafford, and then now the fixture is at Anfield. I don't think it's full circle. It will be full circle when we win the Premier League. This is the kind. This is more like a test, a small test. That was the big test. This is not going to be. This has a lot of gravitas attached to it because of the fixture, because of the position. But right now, United are not struggling. United were seriously struggling when we faced Liverpool the first time in the season, and nobody gave us a shout. Everybody was thinking they're going to get hammered from Liverpool. Liverpool were also a little shaky, but everybody believed that Liverpool will kick United, and then their season will propel. But that didn't happen. The fortunes interchanged, and Liverpool were on the downslide, and the United kept moving up. So that was the case. I don't think this is a full circle. Although this is a big fixture, this is a huge game for us. We want the 3 points. It to be near City and Arsenal, but I don't think this has so many. This doesn't has too much repercussions when we consider United. This has major repercussions for Liverpool because United. I don't think everybody truly believes that we are going to win the title, the Premier League. We are just thinking that might happen, but that is not a realistic expectation out of Manchester United right now. For Liverpool, their expectation is to finish in a position that they can play in Europe, and that is going to be very crucial for them to get 3 points out of Manchester United at Anfield.
Precisely. Currently, the expectations are different, like you said, and also while there is a lot of significant gravitas or a significant amount of buzz generated due to the sheer name of the fixture, I think both teams will enter this fixture with different mindsets. With one of them well settled in the top four, perhaps I could say, and one just finding their feet and getting to their thereabouts. They are on the fringes of the top four right now, Liverpool, and who knows, a couple of good results their way, and they could find themselves in conversation for the top four. Abhijit bhai, speaking about top four, now yesterday we seen Spurs drop points by losing to Wolves, and we see Newcastle lose to Man City. Now, let's assume that we are out of the title race. I'm saying assume because I think a majority of our fan base will be wise enough to understand that we are still not entirely in the title race. We have been given nominal shout outs just because we have two games in hand on top of us, on the top two. That is the sole reason why people are still counting us in. We'll come about this conversation whether we are in or out of the title race maybe a month from now. But till the time, let's just hold our horses on that. Spurs lose and Newcastle lose. So that has given us another cushion to, increase that gap on these two. And add to that, Liverpool, if we beat them, that makes their job of qualifying for the top four much more harder. because they also come into this game with a with a 4 game unbeaten run. Now, on that perspective alone, how important it is for Manchester United to win this game and make sure that we further consolidate our position on the top four, so that when it comes to the crunch games like around game week 32 or 33, we don't have to nervously look behind our shoulders after every game and see that, oh they are winning and we are dropping points. So how important it is to make sure that the gap is already so much that we don't have to be afraid of what the progress of the rest of the sides chasing the top four is.
See, when you look at Anfield, for some context, I will say something this about it. Anfield, people always tend to have that mentality that we can't defeat Liverpool on Anfield because it is have a different electrifying atmosphere there. Okay, we all make that in our mind that okay, Liverpool are good in that and their atmosphere is okay. Always say that, but looking at that, what mentality we now have is that we want to win the games, every single games, and the players tends to demand from every other, helping each other and demand and manager demanding every single player that you should perform is phenomenal, because that mentality you need to conquer someone's mind, and when that comes, you tend to win all the games. Spurs, as you said, that all the top four contenders who are on the contention to win the top four, all are losing the point, and making that we have some cushion to cement our top three or top two position in our perspective. It is matter because if we win this match, we win it in a margin, then we have it will cement, or it will make us I think confident that we are actually on the right track. And given the fact that we have a trophy in our cabinet already, in the 6 months of a transition, what we are going and what we are rebuilding Manchester United again, it actually winning against a rival, and winning it with the margin, and winning and making that gap smaller, it actually pressurize the all top two teams who are further more against us. It actually makes us that we can think of impossibilities. Okay, we are outside a chance, but it can also make that pressurize, and there are some more games coming up for us, and it will actually make us that we can rely on on that confidence that we can win some games, and we can cushion that top three. And we have actually tend that we always have that mentality, as we all banters and all, that we can't win at Anfield. Oh, no, no, never. The mentality has changed, and Eric Ten has said that the era has come to end, and this line. If you want to prove it, it's the chance now, and this is the match we can say that yes, that era has come to end. I think 2016, it was that match that we have won last in the Anfield, and now it's the chance. Now we have a chance, and we have a good manager, that mentality, and winning the trophy, everything we have. We can thump our authority on that Anfield, that we say can what is Anfield. This is Manchester United, and we can win it.
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful mindset that Ten Hag has instilled. He spoke about it in the press conference also, that after analyzing the squad, he wanted players that have character, that have determination, and that have the leadership in this. He said a very beautiful line. You want to instill a mentality in a side where once you win, you want to keep on winning, and he's very against the notion of having players with the mentality that once we lose, we keep on losing. This is something that he wanted to eradicate, and then that is the reason why he bought the players that he bought. And that is a very good indicator of what his philosophy and what his mindset is, and what exactly he wants to implement in the team as far as the mental aspect is concerned. Yeah, Abhijit bhai, go on, you're saying something.
Also, that you see the players, all you see interviews, everything, they always tend to say that we are here to win, and we are here to win the trophies. So
Yes,
मतलब उनका भूख भूख मिटा नहीं है अभी. They want to
correct,
win everything. So
exactly.
look at the in last year. They were actually figuring out that what Liverpool will do, what Manchester City will do, what Arsenal will do. All that fear was there. But now we see different mindset. This mindset, actually makes us confident that the players are here
Correct.
not for top four. They are actually for trophies. So
Yes,
this
yes.
mentality has really changed, and we can actually conquer the Anfield. That I would say.
भूख मिटानी है तो फिर they will have to call Marcus Rashford. He'll always find a way, to satisfy their hunger, whether it is on the pitch or off the pitch. It is so.
Also, yes, we also have some. Last time when we defeated Liverpool at in August in Old Trafford, we that was the old team. I think only two players were there just for the new signings on the part, two or three signings. But now we
All
have,
three.
I think,
At that point, all the three signings played, and Casemiro
yes,
was just unveiled.
yes,
Casemiro was unveiled on that game.
yes. Now we have, apart from Ericsson, we have all the players now.
Yes,
So
correct.
there could be a difference now.
Yes, yes, yeah. Kshitish bhai, coming to you, let's talk a little bit about Liverpool now. While up until the last four games, Liverpool seemed to be dead and buried. Like no, absolutely no chance of them making the top four, let alone fighting for a spot in the Conference League. That was their situation. They were losing to Wolves. They were given the runaround by Brighton, and so on and so forth. They just didn't seem to have anything. But in the last four games, they've kept four consecutive clean sheets in the Premier League, which is a massive, massive thing. Stringing four successive clean sheets in a Premier League is, you have to sometimes just look at it and say, all right, they've done that. Not something to tip your hat on, but then it is difficult. A run of four straight clean sheets in the Premier League is difficult. Some of their players seem to have found rhythm. What do you make of Liverpool's approach into this game? Because obviously they come into the game with some semblance of confidence because of the sheer fact that they've gone four games unbeaten, let alone four-game win run. They have a draw in the middle, I guess. So that's three wins and a draw. Entering is this was that just the kind of confidence boost that they required to enter this game with a buoyant atmosphere? Because considering the fact that United hold everything at their side, they hold the momentum, they boast the players who are in better form at the moment. They have one of the most lethal marksmen in Europe at the moment as well, and they have one of the most stingy defenses in the division. So everything is in United's favor. So how exactly does is this four-game unbeaten run gonna help them?
Doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. When it comes to Manchester United and Liverpool, it doesn't matter what form you are in, who has the best player, who has the best manager. It's all about the fans. It's all about the fans. It's all about the club. It's it's just, even though they have, you have said they have some clean sheets in last matches. We have, for example, we have Rashford now, and like Van Dijk, Sora defending won't work here. Just can't look at someone's face and tell them don't attack me, and they will stop. That era has stopped. That era has gone by of Van Dijk. And I honestly think that Liverpool will be thinking that if we win against United, we are going to get top four. And I honestly think that they are going to get top four because Spurs are going to do a Spurs. And it's just, that team is so ridiculous. How can you just lose to Wolves? Okay, the different trajectory. But like, I think that Liverpool cannot, like, it's in their DNA to fight back. If you remember the Allison header season, they were also gone and out, but they fought back so valiantly. Like even as a United fan, I was like, salute to you guys. Like wow, if your goalkeeper is coming and scoring for you just to get into Champions League, you guys are deserving of Champions League. And I also think that what they want is just to show that even at their worst, they are good enough to be in top four, and that's why they are going to come at us full force. But it's all depends on us also. Like if we control our game for first 20 minutes, Bruno, Casemiro, and Fabrizio or Fred. I think it's a high intensity game, so we need Fred. It's all about the midfield battle, and if it is about the midfield battle, we have them buried. They have a 18-year-old kid playing for them who is still very fresh, though he is looking very promising. But I think I have always thought that, and I want to put it out there that games are always won at the midfield level. Midfield is the most important aspect of the game. I am being little biased here because I am also a midfielder, but still, I think that midfield is where we will try to hold the game at our own pace because Liverpool will try to hit the ball to Salah so he can make that cutting run inside, and then Nunes can get in, then Gakpo can get in, or if Jota is there, Jota is fantastic for this. He's much better than Nunes, in my opinion. Even though Nunes brings more chaos, but Jota has better finishing, in my opinion. All I want to say is that, and so
And yes,
yeah, to negate that,
and
we need
Jota
to control the midfield
and Jota always turns up against United. Always turns
always.
up against United. Yeah.
He's a big game
So
player.
yeah, exactly. Abhijit bhai, you want to say something?
No, I think Liverpool will, actually it's the mind games for us. It actually they are, all on for us. It's just a, in a moment where they just want to capitalize us, and they want to show that they are not this. It just a, balloon, मतलब एक फुगा है, उसमें air है, but it will burst it. That's it. They want to, capitalize our mind, but looking at the factor that they know that we are all here, Manchester United is all here for win, but looking at that, they don't have the players. Only I think Gakpo, Nunes are on a decent form, I would say. They don't have midfield actually. Basic adds only one player that you are saying Chiti's by that 18 years kid. I don't see him, making that, some kind of any difference in the mid. Even that Carvalho, or even even that you can't stop Rashford now. You know that you are all doing that mind games, everything. But Liverpool wants that major points, and they want to thump that they uh, Manchester United, that run can be stopped, and they want to capitalize. I don't see, even they don't have that midfield, and don't have the defense. Last time we were seeing that Robertson, Trent, and even you see Matip and Van Dijk, the they are all overrun now. They are all aging, and it's nothing for them. They just want to win the 3 points.
Yeah, Shitish bhai. Yeah.
The downfall of Fabinho is the worst downfall I've ever seen by any
Yes,
midfielder
yes.
in
We'll
Premier
we'll
League.
speak we'll speak about all this. Yeah, yeah. Paritosh bhai, this is something that I wanted to discuss with you and you only, and this is talking about the two managers and what exactly they spoke in their respective press conferences. I'll talk about what Ten Hag said first. So Ten Hag obviously compares Anfield's atmosphere to one of the most intimidating atmospheres that he's come across as a manager. The only time that he's played Liverpool at Anfield was on the back of empty stadiums during the COVID lockdown when he was Ajax manager in the Champions League. That was the only time he's played against Liverpool at Anfield. So obviously things are going to be different. He says that he's ready for the atmosphere, the players are ready for the atmosphere. And what was a seeming jibe to Klopp, although you're free to make your own interpretation on it, but a lot of the section does feel that it was like a slight underhand jab saying that the same pitch, the same ball, 11 players each, and you just have to go out there and get a result. For that very reason, I've seen a lot of fans, not United fans, but the fan bases of other clubs in general, call Ten Hag cocky, arrogant, and brash. Now, let me take your mind back to Jurgen Klopp's post-match press conference after the UCL final when they lost to Real Madrid. All right. I guess the words. I'm not sure how accurate my paraphrasing is, but his words were, "Where is the next Champions League final? Is it Istanbul? Book the hotels." So what Ten Hag says can come across as cocky and brash, but when Klopp says it, he's hailed a mentality monster. He's hailed an elite manager. He's hailed whatnot. So what is the difference exactly? I mean, these are two managers who both made these statements when they were at the top of their respective games. So why is one being singled out for criticism, and why is one being hailed as the god and savior of England or Liverpool, whatever it is?
Because we are the biggest club in the world. Easy as that. because we're the biggest. Nobody wants us to succeed, and yeah, that's that. Nobody wants Manchester United back because if Manchester United are back, nobody is going to be in for the trophies. Nobody wants Manchester United dominating again. We dominated the Premier League for 20 odd years. That is not something you do. If you look at the table that Sir Alex left, if you look at the past 10 leagues, we are in the top two positions in every single one of them. We have won the Premier League three times in a row, twice, not done by anybody else. Man City have a shot this time, and Arsenal are going to win it. So this is the kind of dominance that United have had, and nobody wants that. If I was a fan of another club, I wouldn't want that, but I do want it as I am a Manchester United fan, and that is the single most reason that everybody turns on Manchester United. Manchester United garners views because it has a massive fan base, so media wants to report it. I worked in media, so I know how these things work. Articles are written for the view count. They are written for, and it's not the writer's fault. They are told to write about things that will garner views, and Manchester United and negative comments garner views. So if you put Manchester United in a bad light, fans are going to read it. They're going to react, but they're going to read it, and that is what makes the big old machine tick. That's why Manchester United are always going to be related to negative things if you see in the media. Regarding the comments of the two managers, uh, I think Eric Ten Hag is not that cocky. He could have been a lot more cocky. He gave his fair respects. He is just being realistic. He has never been cocky. Even when we were about to like pip Arsenal just before the game, if we would have had beaten Arsenal, we would have been very close. I think five or 3 points. I'm not sure right now. And he even then he was like okay, like we are in a good position. We have had good results, but he was still not saying anything about the title race. If he was cocky, he would have said that yes, we are in a title race. He never said that. He said that we are just taking it one game at a time. He was not cocky. He's just being realistic. He's being realistic that United are in a good spirit. They are in a good position, and Liverpool are not in that position that they thought they would be by March. If you asked any Liverpool fan or any football fan in general, if you told them Liverpool would be in this condition, nobody would have believed. But they are in that position, and same goes for United. But the situation is that United are on the up and Liverpool are on the down. Although Liverpool are finding form of late, they are finally sticking some good football together, and you have to give credit to Jurgen Klopp. He has built a solid team because Liverpool was struggling for quite some time before him. And then he took the helm. It took him 4 years, but he delivered the Premier League. He delivered the Champions League, and he has had trophies coming in for Liverpool. The Premier League they didn't win for 30 years, so you have to give credit. He is a great manager. It's just that his time and his players are coming into the end of their cycle. United's players are coming in the starting of their cycle. So there is the hint of jealousy as well because he doesn't want United to succeed. Obviously, there is a bit of sourness attached to it. Obviously, there is a negative connotation attached to it. But for us United fans, it should be a good thing that Liverpool manager is saying these things because he is afraid that United are going to pip them, and United are now on their way up.
Yeah. Another question. Yeah, yeah, Shitish, bhai, go on, go on. Yeah.
See, even though I'm pretty young, but people are forgetting these days. Like, we are the club which are love to be hated. We thrive on other people hate. The more people hate us, the more trophies we tend to win. So it's fine. Let them hate us. The more they'll hate, the more it will fuel us, the more we'll go towards the more trophies.
Exactly, totally. Paritosh bhai, another question, similar lines on the clock press conference. Now, it was Pep first who started these, small jibes aimed at us, speaking about, that they're going to be in and thereabouts the title race if they spend a little more. Klopp jumped on that bandwagon, saying that, yeah, I've not missed United, and they have built a team for now and they have not built a team for 20 years. So let me just go ahead and give you a small lowdown on our player ages who are playing for us this season. So Tyrell Malacia is 23, Lisandro Martinez is 25, Marcus Rashford is 25. Anthony is 22, who recently turned 23. Diogo Dalot is 23. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is 25. Jadon Sancho is 22. We have an 18-year-old Alejandro Garnacho. We have a 21-year-old Facundo Pellistri. And we have a 17-year-old Kobe Mainu who's going to be given his time sooner rather than later. And then we go to Liverpool, who only have an 18-year-old Bajitic, who's currently playing for them. Virgil van Dijk's 31. Matip is 33 or 34, if I'm not mistaken. Robertson is 29. Salah is 30. Thiago is 31. Milner is 467 years old. God knows how old is he. Uh, Jordan Henderson is Jordan Henderson might be 2 or 3 days younger than Liverpool. So yeah, I mean, first of all, you said it right that no one builds their team for 20 years, but his statement is still entirely wrong if you go ahead and if you take our team's age on an average. This team is going to be there. This team's nucleus is going to be intact at least for the next half a decade, or not, if not more. So I don't understand what exactly was his mind space while he was talking about this.
I'm telling you
If
his mind space. I'm telling you his mind space. His mind space was of hatred. He didn't like Manchester United doing well. Nobody likes. That is the point. It will come out in different ways. But him saying that no, it is not a team built for 20 years. Nobody builds a team for 20 years. Which team in the past 30 years, 40 years have you seen which is built for 20 years? Barcelona, the prime Barcelona, even if you say they were built in 2005 6, when Ronaldinho entered the camp and then they were started building. They ended their whole run by the time it was 2015. I think they won their last Champions League with the MSN for trio, and that was it. Even if you consider that to be like because that is one of the greatest teams to ever exist on the footballing pitch. That lasted like 10 years, and that is me being very lenient and saying that it is 10 years. It is not even 10 years. 5 to 8 years is the maximum cycle you can build a team for, and
even
that
that
is
Real Madrid side, even that Real Madrid
yeah,
side,
like
were
5 years,
dominated the
five
Champions
four
League.
years, 5 4 years,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
that
exactly.
Real Madrid, even Real Madrid, that was not a team built for 10 years. They were struggling just before the Champions League. They were struggling in the La Liga. When Jose Mourinho entered the premises of Real Madrid, they had not won the league. They were being dominated by Barcelona. He was the only one who took the La Liga stronghold out of Camp Nou and shifted it to Santiago Bernabeu. And that team, the greatest ever Barcelona team, then the downfall started. Real Madrid were on the up, although in the La Liga, Barcelona still were able to dominate, but Real Madrid took it to another level by winning three in a row, and they won another one a year before that. So yeah, that was the kind of dominance that Real Madrid had, and that lasted like 6 7 years. If you consider this the last Champions League they won, you can say 7 8 years if they were the team to beat, because but that was not the case. uh, if you consider 20 years, I think United are the only side who were dominant for 20 years. If you consider from 1992, the class of 92, and then the whole rundown, we won the 1999 treble, and we were able to dominate up until like 2008, and we won our last league in 2012. So yeah, it's 20 years. 20, if you start from 92, and that is as a United fan, I don't like claiming that it is 20 years, because it is not. They were Chelsea in the middle. There was Man City who took the Aguero moment from us. So it was not that we
Arsenal
were
too.
dominant. Arsenal
Arsenal
too.
too.
Arsenal
And
in this year. There were various
Klopp
teams.
is for- Klopp is
Yeah,
forgetting that we used to change our team every 3 years.
yeah,
Every 3 years we
everybody
got five new players.
Everybody has to. Everybody has to. Nobody can build a team for 20 years. Do you think you're going to get like 18-year-old, 16-year-old, and then you're going to build a team around them, and then they'll play up until they're 37? How is it possible? Uh, this is not possible. This is not possible in any shape or form. I am telling you, this is just said to ignite the fans, to say that, oh, they are not a team that is going to last forever. This is to just this is a shoulder of ignorance from Jurgen Klopp. Although I don't think he truly believes that, he has just said it to fuck with the Manchester United fans and to garner the support of Liverpool fans. To say that for the Liverpool fans to be like, okay, this team is going to like dominate for a while, and then they're not. Although Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, I'll talk about Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp has a history of building teams for 3, 4 seasons. After the third season, the fourth season, the team runs down, and that has happened frequently. Uh, in the season before the last one, Liverpool were very bad, where United finished second, and Liverpool came back stronger in the final few games, and they were able to qualify for the Champions League. Although they had a terrible season that one because of the injuries, and the injuries happened because of a lot of workload on the players. He doesn't rotate the team as often as required. His style is so much physical that not many players can take it, and even if they can, they get injured further down the line. Although Eric Ten Hag also believes in a similar pressing, but he has had a lot more of rotational players. One thing that is the difference between Liverpool and Manchester United is that Manchester United have spending power. Liverpool don't have spending power. Liverpool had spending power because of their win in the Premier League and the Champions League. That was the money that came in, and they were able to spend. They were able to spend the Philip Coutinho money, and that was it. United, after the takeover, will have money to spend to buy the players. If you are to look at any team for modeling a proper club, you have to look at City, how they have built the squad. They buy 30, 40 million odd players, and they build them into 70, 80 odd, 100 million odd players. Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland. They are the only two buys that has gone beyond their traditional route, which they have taken over the past decade. So United, I believe, with the proper system, with Eric Ten Hag, will have a similar system where they'll buy in players for 30, 40 odd million. They'll nurture the academy players because now he's heading the uh, heading the younger players squad as well. He's the gaffer there as well. So I believe there is a huge difference between United and Liverpool, and young Klopp and Liverpool fans won't like it. But United, I think, with this team and with the manager, are here for a long run, and
Is
nobody
it
likes that.
is it safe to say that United has finally disrupted the established order of Liverpool and City, and it is the simple fact that both of these sides have been rattled by our emergence, which, let's be honest,
Also,
has been
Arsenal,
well ahead of schedule. Well, I've not seen Arsenal come up with such snide and snarky remarks because they themselves are embarking on a resurgence of their own.
because Arsenal. No, no, I'm not saying that City and Liverpool are rattled, and so is Arsenal. Arsenal are not rattled. Arsenal have disrupted along with Man United the stronghold of City and Liverpool. That's what I'm saying. And
Oh,
you'll have a chance of Newcastle United disrupting the top five, six, big six, as you call in the Premier League, because they'll also have money coming in. You can't really expect these teams to be there forever, and that's why Premier League is exciting, and that's why it is the biggest league, because there are teams who are constantly fighting, who are constantly mounting a challenge at the top, and nobody is safe. City is not safe, as shown by Arsenal and United this particular season.
yeah.
Actually, when you see, sorry, Dylan
No,
bhai,
no, no. When I'm sitting to listen to you, you're saying sorry, Baba. You continue, continue. I was going to
uh,
tell you only to speak.
uh, what do you say about you say that destabilize? Actually, Klopp has overrun all the players. To look at Fabinho, he has played continuously 2 seasons without I think without any injury, and look at his form. Even you look at Van Dijk, even you look at Milner, every player, whatever they have, they're actually totally overrun in them. They
I
relentlessly
don't
played everyone.
I don't think overrun is the issue. I think they are drained mentally as well. Physicality
That
No,
is one thing. Physicality is one thing. It's just that the constant injuries, because their top players are always getting injured. They don't have their midfield for the season. They started the season and they had injuries. Now they have finally players coming back. When they have a proper fit squad, they'll be a good team. They are a good team. Nobody is denying
is.
that.
Do you believe that the hangover of not winning the Premier League, I mean, losing the Premier League in such a close manner, and then losing a Champions League the way that they did, do you think that that could also have a knockover effect on the way that they've been playing this season?
Obviously, it does. You see, when we lost the title to City with the Aguero movement, who did Sir Alex bring in next season?
Van
One
Persie.
person,
Yeah,
exactly. You bring in the top striker in the league, and you show the league that we are here again. Liverpool need something. They needed a signing, a statement signing. They wanted Darwin Nunes to be the statement signing. He didn't turn out to be that. They wanted Thiago to be the statement signing when they lost the previous Premier League, the previous Champions League. That didn't happen. They lost the Premier League to City with a 1 point margin, with probably the highest points accumulated by the second
twice,
position.
twice.
Yeah, and that takes a toll. And things that they wanted to go in their favor didn't go in their favor. So that happens, and that is why it is so difficult to replicate what United did, what Barca did with their teams to build a successful team for a long term. What Real Madrid did, even Jurgen Klopp has been so dominant, but what has he got to show for the dominance? Four trophies: one Premier League, one Champions League, one uh, FA Cup,
Carabao
and
and
one
one FA.
Carabao. Yeah, so that is four trophies that he has won.
If you
If
go
you,
Club World Cup,
and
then also.
that is you saying that Liverpool, the most dominant Liverpool side in like 30, 35 years.
Yes,
So
correct.
make it make sense,
I,
because it's so difficult to build a team. That's why nobody likes when somebody is that successful. City, although we don't like them, they have been successful in building a team that has constantly provided trophies, and even when other teams are so dominant. When Liverpool was so dominant, that's why City's success is so important. When Liverpool was so dominant, they were able to pip them for the Premier League. uh, Real Madrid
I
were
have
able to beat
one point
them.
to add there.
Yeah,
I have
please.
one point to add there. Actually, the transfer window policy has flipped in like recent years. Whereas United used to depend on those two, three big signings, mega star signings, and Liverpool used to depend on buying players for 30 million, 35 million and turning them into world class players. Now they have started to do that. Now they are doing the Darwin Nunes thing. Now they have put all their eggs in the Jude Bellingham basket. Now they are doing the thing which United used to, that this player will change everything. We tried that hardest with Alexis Sanchez. We thought that Alexis Sanchez will come and just take everything by the storm, and just, it was very different. He played piano and then he went away. That was something else. And
I
now they
think
are doing the same thing.
if anybody looked at his last season at Arsenal after he got injured against Argentina in the Copa America final, where his ankle was crushed, he was never the same player. If anybody
Never the same thing.
looked at football, if anybody watched football properly during that period, everybody knew that Alexis Sanchez wouldn't be the same player that United will get, that he was a season before. But it's just because we were United fans and we were so happy that we got another one of the top players from Arsenal. We were excited for him to also rip up the league like Van Persie did. Is
And I'm
and
telling you,
it's,
never put an basket in one player thing. It's just bad. Like, no matter how much you have worked on it, Perez will come and say, I want you, and he'll go there. Doesn't matter who you are. If you are even Manchester United, the Papa Perez will come and say, Jude, come, and Jude will go. So Liverpool is doing a really wrong thing.
it depends. It depends on the success. I think Real Madrid is Real Madrid because of their Champions League exploits. If they
True, true,
hadn't
true. But
True.
hadn't
the
won
bottomless pit of money is also there for Madrid, no?
because everybody wants success. Everybody is in the. If we play a sport, we played the sport as children, and we went to the park. We always wanted to win. We wanted to get the last goal. We wanted to get the last pass in. We wanted to be on the team that puts the last goal. That is the whole point of the game. Although we shake hands and we say good game and this and that, but everybody wants to win. That is the primal thing that happens when you play a sport, and Real Madrid are best at getting these wins in the knockout games and the big knockout games in Europe. So that's why everybody is attracted. Once United see, if United get two Champions League in a row and one Premier League, everybody will be back at United because this is the place to be. This is the most marketable club. This is the club with most fans because you'll get your Instagram followings up and this and that. You'll be a more marketable player, even more than Real Madrid, because Real Madrid operate on Spanish league, which is not so marketable. Premier League is the most marketable league. Manchester United is the most marketable club. So if we get like two big trophies, three big trophies, everybody will want to come to United. Nobody will want to go to anywhere else. But it's just that
Exactly.
we need to.
So, moving our focus, getting our focus back to the game, let's talk about the battles that will define this fixture. Now, there are a lot of intriguing subplots and sub battles that everyone are looking for. My first battle, which I believe could have a massive difference, is Van Dijk versus Weghorst. Now, we all know that Weghorst's contribution to this United side is massive, yet understated in its importance. Everyone wants to look at the most rudimentary stats, that is goals and assists that he provides, which until now, unfortunately, for some reason or another, he's not been able to get. But his work, apart from that, largely goes unnoticed. But also, it is one of the biggest reasons why we are playing so smoothly as a unit, why we are so cohesive. Up against him is a player who knows him because of their same affiliations throughout the country. Both Dutch internationals, both have played together in the World Cup as well. So there will be a fair understanding of how each other operate. Virgil van Dijk might have a fair idea of how Weghorst operates, and same goes for Weghorst, who also might have a fair idea of how Virgil van Dijk operates. We spoke about Virgil van Dijk defending, his aura style of defending, this, that, and so on. But you can now slowly see that Virgil van Dijk has gained a little bit of surety. He's a little bit more assured and he's a little bit more in control. So, how important, Abhijit Bhai, is this battle between a striker who's doing everything apart from scoring, and against a defender who's just slowly starting to find his rhythm back? What do you think that this battle is going to be the key battle, or do you think this battle is going to be the key battle in determining how each team is going to function?
Yes, definitely this battle is going to be crucial for us because if you look at Liverpool playing, they play high intensity and high line football, and and we have bought a player who who has done a very good pressing. He is the top player for the pressing, and I think if I'm not wrong, he's the in this season he is the top three. If you look at top three or top four player who is good at pressing, so I think. We are underrating Vegas for what he is doing it. His off ball activities are very very spot on, and he contributes in every aspect of the pitch. He come whenever we are on the back line on the when we are player when the team presses us, he contributes in the defense. Whenever we want to link up the play, he links the play. Whenever we're in the opposition box, he actually makes the physical contacts and take the defenders out in and create the space for our players and try to score the ball. So when we now Liverpool have a tendency that they always try to play high intensity and high, as I said. When we reverse it, the player fumbles. You see in last in I think in the August game, we when they pressed us, we reverse over pressed them. So players start to fumble him and they do mistakes, and what they you look at the Real Madrid game when they considered two. Benzema actually tried to calm down all the players, and he bought that everything that they tried again, the over pressing against the player, and it worked. You look at Alisson's own goal. I would say that it was a own goal. I would, but okay, it was Junior who scored it. But if you overpress them, we are definitely, and Wood Weghorst has that tendency to capitalize. Even the last West Ham game in the FA Cup, we were pressing. What Wood Weghorst did it was to capitalize the defense, and he did capitalize, and it gave a chance to score the goal. So Wood Weghorst is an important player. He is filling the gap what we wanted, and people criticizing him is it looks very bizarre to me that a player who is for short 6 months and he has done phenomenal thing to in the Manchester United to fill that gap, to bridge the link, everything. We are not appreciating him that much. So Wood Weghorst is a crucial part in this pressing game, and he will excel it. And I have that tendency. I have that some kind of feeling that Virgil van Dijk will find it very difficult to make those passes front, and Wood Weghorst will capitalize him.
Yeah, very well said. Very interestingly explained. Also, Kshitij bhai, let's talk about the next battle. And this is a battle which could, more or less make sure that United either have a foot on the game, or it would bring Liverpool back to equal footing in this contest. I'm not saying Liverpool will have the upper hand if they manage to win this battle, but they'll for sure be level pegging with us. And that battle is Rashford versus Alexander Arnold. Now, we all know the form Rashford is in. We all know what momentum he's carrying in the face of this game. And then we have Alexander Arnold, who's going through a phase which is entirely opposite to what Rashford is going through. The man looks to be short on confidence. The man looks to be indecisive. Yes, he has a wand of a right foot whenever he goes for a cross, but his the ability of rest of the players to so easily bypass him when it comes to the ball at their feet is becoming a massive concern for Liverpool, and he's still somehow not able to identify or make a right balance between attacking and defending at the right time. So, do you believe that if in the first 10 minutes, let's take a sample size of the first 10 minutes of the game, do you think if Trent Alexander does manage to stay on course with Rashford, not exactly dominate him in the first 10 minutes, but only manage to stay with or his thereabouts? Do you believe that that would enable Alexander Arnold to grow in confidence, or do you think that Rashford this season Rashford is having, do you think he's much more refined or well versed enough to find a different way to get the better of Trent Alexander in this battle? Because while we do know the devastating ability that Alexander Arnold possesses on the offensive sides of things, that is not a secret. We all know that. But do you think that if Rashford has to, have the upper hand over Alexander Arnold, does he have to get it done right in the start, or does he take his time, or see how the game pans out?
One nutmeg is all it takes to score the goal. Ta is one of the best. Yeah, Licha. But like Ta is honestly is a mystery to me. Like how amazing you can be at attacking and how shit you can be at defending. That man is so shit even at FIFA. Even though FIFA is not the thing which you measure a player on, but come on, guys. Ta when even Rashford was at his worst, like a season back or something, he still destroyed even though we lost 4-0. Rashford is still destroyed. Is baffling. But you said that in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it doesn't matter. If Rashford get past Star, once Star loses the confidence, then he just starts spamming crosses and crossfield balls, because then he will try to stay with Rashford no matter what, because he knows that if Rashford goes through him, then on that side of the defense, he's completely exposed, because Van Dijk will play left center back. As far as I think, he'll play left center back. Right center back, I think if Konate plays, he's a very good defender. But if it is
He's past fit. He's past fit to play. So I think
so
Konate will
then
be
I
the
think
right
Konate
sided.
will
Yeah.
play. Yeah, so the Konate is a good defender. But if Rashford needs to go through Ta, I don't think that's a much difficult job. You guys are thinking it is. But 10-15 minutes doesn't matter. I think Rashford will bully Ta today. The form he is in, he'll bully Ta. It won't be a pretty sight to watch. I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, not a difficult job nowadays to get the better of Alexander Arnold as far as his defensive abilities are concerned. Paritosh bhai, I think at this point we all know that if United manages to ace the battle of the midfield, I think we'll have a much more firm footing in the game, considering the sheer porousness of the Liverpool midfield. I think that is like so. But there is this one battle which I personally feel is going to be the most interesting battle, and I've barely seen anyone speak about this. All right, so let me just go ahead and paint a picture for you. It's in the second half. All right, this game has now become a castle of chaos. All right, all the 20 players on that pitch are playing on sheer instinct, tactics, formations, and attacking sequences and defending as well. Everything has gone out of the window. In this arena of chaos, step forward two players who are the ultimate master of chaos. It seems that chaos is their home, and they always seem to find a next level in the midst of absolutely everything going left in the worst way possible. And that is Darwin Nunez versus Fred. This is the ultimate battle of chaos This is the ultimate chaos match. I mean, these two are the biggest chaos masters in the Premier League, and no one even comes close to these guys. The sheer mayhem that these two guys cause only because of the fact that they enjoy playing in chaos. How important do you think is this battle? And would you pay money to watch these two go one on one in a battle where there is pressure? Like there is chaos, everything goes out of the window, and it comes down to a straight shootout between Darwin Nunez and Fred. How important, how interesting do you think this battle is going to be, Paritosh bhai? You're on mute, bhai. You're on mute.
Fred is an important player, although most fans don't like that because Fred has been quite average for most of his playing at United. He has had good patches of form, and of late he has been good for United. I do believe he's a good player. I do believe that there are instances where we need Fred. There have been instances where we have needed Fred, and he has outperformed. There have been instances where we needed him, and he hasn't performed. So for a player like him to go against the sensational striker that Darwin Núñez is, he was to be the top scorer of the league. He was to be what Erling Haaland was to Manchester City, and he didn't quite fare out to be that. Although he's a skillful player, I think Darwin Núñez is a good striker. It's just that he arrived at the wrong team in the wrong moment with too many injuries, with such a sharp dip in form. His form also took a hit. Also, the fact that Liverpool made it about the ego of the club to sign Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo, two players that many of their rivals, especially Manchester United, were gunning for. We both wanted Cody Gakpo. They were like, okay, yeah, and United had a better chance of getting him in the summer. They didn't go for it. They were to come back for him in January. They didn't, and Liverpool came in. Cody Gakpo said, "Fuck it, let's go for the rivals." And he hasn't been the player that we were seeing even in the World Cup. Cody Gakpo has not been the same. Although I think he's a good player, it's just that sometimes players do come in teams at the wrong moment, and I think that is the case for Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez has shown in the past few games that he is a great player. The death finish he showed with a back heel flick to score the first goal in a match where Liverpool lost after scoring two goals uh, against Man City, I think 5-2 they lost. That was the game where Darwin Núñez scored the first goal. Was it Man City or Arsenal? I'm not sure which game was it.
Where Nunez scored first, I guess that was the Arsenal game. But I think Martinelli scored first in that game.
No, no, no.
Nunez equalized
5-2. The 5-2 game.
the Real Madrid game.
Madrid.
Yeah, Madrid game. Madrid game. Sorry, my bad. My bad. My memory is taken a hit, or maybe it's just that because it's Liverpool. Okay. Yeah, Liverpool's Real Madrid game at Anfield, where they lost against Real Madrid. So he scored a great goal, and they were looking like they're gonna beat Real Madrid. If anybody saw the game until Salah scored by after a blunder from Courtois, everybody was like, okay, this is the game that Liverpool are back, and then they conceded five in a row. Uh, and and the goal for Darwin Núñez was never the same, because that could have been the goal that changed his form for Liverpool. Uh, so I think he's a good player. It's just that when you consider Fred is a different player. He's a player who'll thrive on not. He'll thrive on not getting Thiago and these players acclimatized to the midfield scenario. Darwin Nunes will try to attack players like Martinez, and that is, I think, although Fred is a player who runs around a lot, he is a player who is significant. I don't think Fred will come in direct contact with Darwin Nunes, although in the last 20, 15 minutes, you can never say never, and then it will be a great match. It will be more like two heavyweights going one on one, and it's just swing and miss for both. It's not a tactical game, it's just that one guy misses and the other one tries to score one past. So I think both, it will be an interesting encounter. I do think that's an interesting thing you had, that nobody's talking about Fred against Darwin Nunes, two players. So erratic, so dysfunctional that they are functional in proper setups. So it's great that two players like these we are going to witness, and I simply have no idea how it's going to fare. It'll be exciting. It will be exciting to watch how these two go against each other. Uh, yeah, there are players. I think some comments are there as well. If you want to take them, there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we've spoken about the key battles and whatever it is that makes this contest what it is. So before we wrap up the stream, might as well get the predictions in. So Abhijit bhai, what are your predictions for the game? What is the prediction and who do you think will end up scoring the first goal?
See, in the last all the streams, I have predicted a win, and they all have been spot on. I just predicted a win, and this has spot on. So I will say that I will predict a win, and United going past the Anfield and conquering it, and that's it. I will not predict it, but I just predict only that United will win this match.
Kshitish bhai, your prediction. I think last time even you ended up predicting a win on your debut stream. So hopefully we have a good prediction this time
3-1.
around as well.
I said 3-1.
3-1. All right.
Yes.
Paritosh
But
bhai, what
not
about
today.
you?
Not today. Not today. Not today. I said 3-1 last time around and it was
What?
3-1. Today
Yeah, your
it will be 2-1 in United's favor or 1-1, 2-1 in United's favor, and the first goal will be scored by Bruno.
Paritosh bhai, what about you?
I think there are goals in this game. I don't think it is going to be a quiet game because Anfield with Liverpool, they'll try to come at United. They'll try to put United under pressure. So there are goals in this game. Although at first I was thinking about a draw, and I even had thoughts of United losing the game because of the absentees in the game. Mm, But I'm going to be confident, and I'll say 4-2 for United because I do believe there are goals in this game.
All right, that's a pretty bold statement, Paritosh bhai. Hopefully, it is what it is, and the way you say it. So, thank you so much, Paritosh bhai, Abhijit bhai, and Kshitish bhai for joining the stream. Thank you so much for speaking about the game, and hopefully that either one of yours predictions come true. Oh, might as well give my predictions. Sorry for that. I think United, I think United keep a clean sheet at Anfield and end the Anfield drought as well. So I think it's going to be a 2-0 win. And I believe that Fred opens the scoring for me if Fred plays. And even if he does come on as a substitute, I think Fred opens the scoring for me. It's time that the pastor gets his due, and in the Church of Anfield, the pastor is the one who gives the telling blow and spreads the good news that United have won. So that
He's a birthday boy. He's today birthday
yeah,
boy.
and yes, he also turns 30 today.
Maguire is also.
Maguire as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Happy birthday,
Maguire
bro.
as well. I think maybe that is why there are reports coming that Varane is injured. Varane is doubtful. Sancho is doubtful. Shaw is doubtful.
Harry Maguire went into the training and stamped on everybody's feet. I'm going to play on my birthday. I'll
Or
show
or
them.
or or maybe their pieces of cake had something dodgy in it. I mean, who's to say? Who's to say?
Harry Maguire,
With
Eric Ten Hag asking Harry Maguire what has happened. Harry Maguire's like, I don't know. Something was-
it's in the
every,
stars. It's in the stars that I play on my birthday. you don't want
Harry
to.
Maguire
You
is
don't
like,
want
I
to.
think they shat their pants when they heard Liverpool at Anfield. So
Yeah, exactly.
Eric Ten Hag
So
was fuming.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So thank you to everyone on the chat who was part of the discussion. It was great having you here. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers. So please go ahead and do show us love. Do press the like button. Do click on the subscribe button. Do press on the bell icon so that you're notified for every video that we come out with. Our aim is to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of this month. So your support is very much required in our journey, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. We're always active on our socials on Instagram and on Twitter. So go ahead and drop us a follow there as well. And I say this in every stream. Every day is match day on our official WhatsApp group. And we'd love to have you there. We want you to be a part of it. It's an ever growing family, and there's always room for more. With that being said, this is Delvin along with Kshitij, Paratosh, and Abhijit Bhai, wishing all of you a good evening. Hopefully, the day gets even better with the
There
United
is
win, so that
there is
we can
a
go ahead and celebrate. Yeah.
you didn't talk about that screening thing.
Oh yes.
Screening. Yes, we have
Yeah.
screening.
Before. I'm sorry about that. Before we go ahead and wrap up a stream, for all you people out in Delhi and in NCR, MESC Red Devils NCR is organizing a screening. Liverpool versus Man United. The entry is at 9 p.m. The location is My Bar at Connaught Place. So we'd love to have you there in large numbers, so that it's a memorable experience not only for us but for you. So that we're able to meet many more United fans, communicate with them, hang out with them, and make this a much more livelier occasion than it is. It is going to be a cracking atmosphere at Anfield, but let's make sure that it is a cracking atmosphere out in My Bar. So once again, My Bar at Connaught Place. Entry starts at 9 p.m. for the 10 p.m. kickoff. So with that being said, this is Delvin along with Paritosh, Abhijit, and Kshitij wishing all of you goodbye. Hope to see you all on the other side of a United victory. And with that being said, we'll see you on another episode of MESC Red Devils NCR. Goodbye, take care, and see you.